Now we have logical operators. So I you guys, okay, for I mean maybe you know, maybe you know, you are not aware of these logical operators, or maybe you, okay, minute. Yeah, okay, yeah. So in case you are not familiar with, let me make you aware of this. So how AND operator works? Why it's lagging? Okay, how AND operator works? So how AND operator, if I put an AND operator, right, so what it does is, if I use this AND, this is an operator, the way you use plus, minus, greater than, less than, right? So I'm using an AND operator in Python. So what this AND operator is doing is, on the left side, so right now it's on the, in this line it's X and here it's Y, right? In this example, in this example, I'm taking one. If AND operator is having one on the left side and you kept it and here, in place of multiplication you did like this and why is it? Yeah. So what will be the result is, result will be 1. How it will be 1? You have to replace this and with multiplication symbol, just for a simple understanding. So 1 into 1 will be 1. Okay. When we are using or in place of and or, so 1 or 1 would be 1. I mean this is there in defined when we use logical operators in terms of how computer understands it. Okay, this is very much defined within computer fundamentals. Okay, because this is not a regular operator which we use on daily basis. Like, I mean, on daily basis we might use plus, minus, multiplication, division, but this is how an and operation works when we use this operation in terms of when we're interacting with computers. So and operations, you can treat it like a multiplication as of now, but actually what it means is, actual and operation, what does it mean? Let me try to tell you. Evaluate condition on the left side first. Okay, if it's true, the whole equation is true. Okay, so let's understand here. Okay, so see, x has a value of true, y has a value of true. So 1 1, so you can treat true as a 1. True is 1, and then y also has a true, so 1 and 1 will be what? Is a 1, right? So true and true is a true. Okay, and then if 1 minute, oh, let me make this false and let's see what will happen. Typo. If true and false, true is on the left side, we have an and operator in the middle, and then false on the right side, what will happen? Oh, why is it so delayed? It's laggy. Okay, you see it's a false. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase my previous understanding to you. 1 minute. I'm getting, let's delete. Let me rephrase this line.
Mr. Kapi, so if we say 1 multiplied by 1 or 1 and 1, it logically 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. But if
Yes,
you say 1 multiplied by 2, it's not going to give you a true result.
yes. So in and operations, right? Even if you, so see, let me try to give you another example. So that was just an analogy. So and for and, right, it doesn't sees it as a 2, or it doesn't see it as a 1. What it sees is it a non-zero value? 2 is a non-zero value, right? And 1 is also a non-zero value. So this is also true, this is also true. So non-zero value, what it will, how it will convert is, it will convert like this. Like this it will convert. So even though if it is 10, right, it will convert like this only, and all your evaluations will be done on this basis. Okay, so let me try to print this. 1 and 1 is Oh, sorry. Let me. Uh-huh. 1 minute. How is it? Wait. There are too many. How is it printing one and one? Usually we do not perform these on numbers either way. Yeah, that's why it's behaving like this. Usually we perform it on these also. I mean, on booleans itself. We do not perform on this directly on numbers. We perform it on equations. So when, I mean, in the upcoming example, when we will perform it on equations, right, you will have a better understanding. But for now, because it's not giving the correct result. So what I'm trying to tell you is, so it's not an actual multiplication. Okay, in and it's not an actual multiplication. It's just to give you a kind of an understanding. So if it's a one and one, it's a result of one. So let me do an search, because there is a table which it will follow. Okay, and operator table. Yeah. So this is the table which it will follow. Will it be big enough to make you understand? Open. Yeah. So it gave all of them. Is it an image? Okay. So if you see here, I hope, I mean, my screen is visible, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it
Nice.
is.
So for, yeah, so for and operation, so you have, let's say you have x and you have y. So if you have a condition which is false or it is zero, or if, and you have a y which is false or which is zero, so x and y will be zero. So I mean, what I was trying to tell over via Python is it will follow, the result will follow this table, 0 and 0. If I perform and operation, it will be a 0. 0 and 1 will be 0. So in a general sense, if you multiply 0 and 1, it will be a 0, right? 1 and 0, it will be 0, right? And 1 and 1 will be 1. But it's not actually multiplying it. Okay, just for an understanding. And similarly, you have a table for all, or, so 0 and 0. So if you perform an addition for 0 and 0, so it's a 0, right? If you perform 0 and 1 addition, it's a 1. If you perform 1 and 0, it's a 1. If you perform 1 and 1, by the way, 1 and 1, it's a 2. But in terms of logical operators, we keep it 1 and 1 as a 1.
All right, all right. Copy. It was the one and one for me because I couldn't understand how one and one
Yeah,
can be one. But
yeah. So it's following this table. So even in the and operator also, the 1 and 1 is 1, and here also it's 1 and 1 and 1. So I mean, if we go back into the mathematics, so 1 and 1 would be like 1 here, and then something as a carry forward, something like that. But yeah, for just for this example, so it will follow this table. I mean, you can do a Google search, so you should be able to find it. It's not that difficult. Similarly, you have a, I mean, not is very easy. So if you have 0 and you mark it as a not, so it's a 1. If it's a 1, it's a 0. That's it. So it will try to
Um,
follow this. Yeah.
yeah, I have Chris. Just to clarify your understanding, Capi made mention that the and signifies multiplication. So one multiplied
Yes.
by one is one.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
but my question to you, Capi, now is if and signifies multiplication, then not signifies what and all signifies what, so we can better understand why 0 0 is 0, 0 1 is 1, 1 0 is 1, and 1 1 is 1. Or we just
Or
have to, master it like that.
or signifies addition. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
yeah. I mean, in this
Okay.
table, I mean, so if you see, it didn't use the multiplication symbol, but it signifies. You can understand it as a multiplication. Here in
Yeah.
or also, it's an addition system, and not is like an invert. If you say something as a true, I mean, your younger brother or a small kid might say it's a false, right? So like that, it's a not. So if you input it a zero value, it will convert into one. If you give one value, it will convert into zero. That's how it is. That's the opposite it will do.
so basically, and or are the same.
No, and or are not the same, right? See, the output is in this xy table. There is a
But
difference, right?
but the result. Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you multiply 0 and 0, it's a 0. If you multiply 0 and 1, then also it's a 0. But if you multiply 0 and 1 sorry, if you add 0 and 1, it's a 1, right? So here it's a difference.
Yes.
And
Yes.
because it's not an actual kind of an addition, that's why 1 and 1 is also a 1. It's like if you say, if I ask you a question, and if you are a truth, if you say truth, for, I mean, if I ask you a name and the name is correct, so I can say, right, you're telling truth. If I again ask you a question, and if you're telling again you're telling a truth answer, then it's a truth. So what I can say, you are a truthful guy, you're always telling a truth. In those terms, it's doing like that. I cannot do you are a two guy. Well, I mean, it will not make sense, right? There is nothing like truth plus truth is a truth twice, right? Like that it is. So true plus true is a true, and true multiplied by true is also true.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, in those terms, yeah. Okay. And well, we have yeah. Let's see if we have those examples. If when we have range examples, right? I think maybe I have an assignment. When will a voter can become something like that? So in that example, you will understand the this importance of this maybe a little bit better. But yeah, but if x is true and y is false, so based on the and table, x is true and y is false, so answer should be false. So let me do this. So answer is false, so it will follow that table. That's it. If x is false, y is true. Yeah, so if x is false means 0. False means 0. If x is false and y is true, then is also a false. 0 means false. X okay, it's a false. Now the example of or. So if x is false and y is false, if x is false, false means 0. If it's 0 0, then it's a 0. Okay, 0 0, it's a false. Now not operator. If x is false, so what I said, it will invert it. Not of x is what? It's a true. If it's true, then what? Then it's a false. It will just do the opposite. Okay, am I using? Okay, it's again a simple calculator. I'm not using any kind of an. Yeah, I'm not using any kind of an operator. So just maybe I was doing something. I just copy pasted this example because it's a normal operator, but I'm not using any kind of logical operations here because it's a operator section. So that's why addition, minus, multiplication. This is just an example which we discussed earlier. And what is the enter the first time performing admin could not convert? Okay, the example what it's tell is okay. Yeah, what it is trying to tell is, let me try to run this if there is an understanding. 44, 44. Yeah, it's not giving any errors. Maybe I wanted to tell you about float, but yeah, it's already solved, so there are no errors on this. Okay, anyways, these are the interesting ones. If a is equal to 1, b is equal to 10. Yeah, these are simple ones. If, and here what I'm doing here is, okay, this one will be a little bit tricky. If not a, else b. I didn't. So, do you remember if else from day one, last example, I guess. So, last example. Do you remember if else? This one. Oh, it was only for if. Okay. If you, because it's a kind of an inline statement. If not of A, else B. I mean, we'll do this in the control statement part because I mean you will get confused because there are multiple things here. Let me remove this example from here itself. It's not relevant here. Okay, yeah, this would be a relevant one. Okay, so A or B. Okay, I removed the A and B value as well. Let me just yeah, let me. A is a 1 and B is a 10. So if A has a non-zero value, it's a true. If B has a non-zero value, it's a true. Okay, then result. Oh, I'm not presenting result. Let me try to present. If you see here in the single quotes, I have used A and then I'm printing A value here. I'm using, and this is called an escape sequence. This means next line. Slash n means next line. And then I'm using B is equal to, and then I'm printing B, and here I want to print res. Let's see what the result is. And for this, what I'm doing is I'm typing here res. In this fashion, you can print multiple items. And so here I'm not using. See here I didn't use slash n, so that's why it came here itself. Slash res is 1. So A or B. So even though A was 1 and B was 10, but A or B is like, if it's a non-zero value, right, it will convert into 1. Let me try to make it as a 0 and now see the result. Yeah, still, because it's following OR table. What OR table says is, if even you have either x or y, if either x or y has a 1 value, the result will be 1. We need only one, either of them. If they has 1, right, the result will be 1. So in our case, who has 1? A has 1. If it's a 0, let's assume it's a 0, then see the result will be 0. So it's following the OR table. Okay. Okay, I told you about escapes. So these are, by the way, escape sequences. /n. Yes, /n means next line. If I don't use /n, right, let's say, see, it will come on the same line itself. There are other ways also to do next line, but we'll discuss that later.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed our session at LWP Labs. For more videos like this, you can subscribe to our channel and contact the number for live classes. The future is now with AI.